adjust your dial. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. It's your boy Big Vern. This is App Stupid, the fastest growing sports and entertainment show on these YouTube streets. You're welcome. Holla at us. Holla, holla. Get these dollars. Get it. It's your boy Big Vern here at App Stupid Studios. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We appreciate you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, smash the like button. Costs you nothing. Just go ahead and hit it. We appreciate it. Goes a long way and helps the channel. Quick recap. We talked about Notre Dame being upset by Northern Illinois. Also, how they got beat. We went through that in a detailed note and asked the question, where do you go from here? Marcus Freeman and the boys, where do you go from here? We talked about their schedule and what it looks like. Then we pivoted, went to the SEC, talked about Kentucky and how bad they got beat in a game they were favored to win by 10 points. They lost to a team that's not picked to do anything in the SEC. And they have number 1 Georgia coming to town next week. This is going to be fun. However, gonna go from Lexington to the good folks at Ann Arbor, Michigan. What the hell? Michigan, what the hell? We told you Texas was favored to win that game by 3 points. That was more than 3 points. I know what people think. Hey, look, man, you go after Michigan a lot. Look, I'm a Big Ten fan. In full disclosure, I'm not making anything about this, but I root for the Big Ten when we play out of conference, guys, because I believe in my football conference. I support my team, the Indiana Hoosiers. I'll be the first person to tell you. I'm critical of Cignetti. When he does really well, I give him credit. When he does things I don't understand and I don't have there's not enough in circulation for me to examine and say what's good from what's bad. And so the jury is still out on some of these things. However, this right here was shameful. This was shameful. 31-12. This was a curb stomping of epic proportions. And it was on every level. Texas, they roughed them up in the air. 246 in the air. They beat them up on the ground. 143-80. Michigan had 80 yards rushing. 80 yards rushing for an entire game full of 4- and 5-star kids. How? You've got some middle school guys with those kind of stats. I am not making this up. Average yards per play with the Texas Longhorns, 5 yards, 5.7. Average yards for the Wolverines, 5.1. 19 first downs. Texas, they kept that defense out there on the field, and they had their way with them. In the air, on the ground, nothing Michigan could do or should have done. They had a lot they should have did. And I want to go ahead and park that car right there. And the reason I said I'll park that car right there, because after we come back from a quick 20, from an unofficial sponsor of the show, I will explain why. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Download the app, order online, or visit the good folks at your local McDonald's. I'm loving it. So, coming back from the segment, I said we're going to park that car right there on the defensive side of the ball for the Michigan Wolverines. And the reason is because they made a lot of press about going to get Wink Martindale. This dude was the defensive coordinator in Baltimore. And the way that everybody made it seem like he was the architect of the Baltimore defense, Baltimore has had one of the most steady, reliable defenses in the past 20 years. Not gonna hold you. That's how good Baltimore's defense has been. But when Martindale went to New York after he was let go in Baltimore, the Giants didn't do much. They didn't do hardly anything. And he's blitz heavy. He does this, he does that. Fast forward to now. He is one of the most expensive defensive coordinators in all of college football. And this is without him actually calling a college game in 20 plus years. And I kept scratching my head. I'm like, why would he have this Baltimore to Michigan kind of train going here? Because McDonald, who was the defensive coordinator last year, but he's the Seahawks, he's the coach this year. He is a student of Wink Martindale's school of blitzing. And the game has passed him by. You're telling me an NFL caliber defensive coordinator doesn't know how to stop a college team. Not another NFL team, another college team. To the point where I'm justifying, how are you paying this guy? How much money is he making? Because this did not go well at all. They converted out of 16 third downs, they converted 10 of them. Your defense had to stay on the field. They couldn't stop anybody. My goodness. Michigan having fumbles, interceptions. I mean, it was just a folly of stupidity. And first of all, let me tip my hat to Texas and Quinn Ewers. That dude is ridiculous. He did everything he needed to do, and he will be on our top QBs of week 2. He's going to be on there, so make sure you go ahead and tune in for that. That guy was 20 out of 36 passes, 24 of those, 246 yards and 3 touchdowns. That dude was wow. That was wow. Now, from the wow to the wow. Yeah, anytime you hear wow, it's not a good thing. Davis Warren, out of 33 throws, 22 of them connected, 204 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. That's awful. That's awful. Then you got the rushing from Donovan Edwards. He was the high man. 8 touches for 41 yards. That's it. No Michigan running back had over 42 yards rushing. I'm being honest with you. 42 yards rushing. This is the reigning and defending college national champions. This is how bad it got. This was a beating on all levels. Give me a quick 20 from an unofficial rap album. Nah, just give me a quick 20 from a rap album we pumping this month. It's your boy Big Bird. Drop the spot. I know you ain't gonna believe this, but we got another rap album we're promoting this month. LL Cool J, The Force, in stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. My favorites on the album is Spirit of Cyrus, Saturday Night Special, Black Code Suite, Passion, and The Vow. Many more. LL Cool J, The Force, in stores now. Yeah, shout out to James Todd. I love the album, The Force. Make sure you go get your copy. Gonna wrap this up. Not gonna go ahead and harp it because this was awful. This was awful on both ends. And if you're in the Big Ten, now when you see Michigan, what do you think? Because clearly that defense is non-existent. And I don't know if there's anything Wink can actually draw up to stop teams from trying to take advantage of Michigan on the ground. Gashing Michigan on the ground, gashing Michigan through the air, because you see now that they are blitz heavy, and that's all they want to do is get in. If you have a great offensive line that can actually keep them at bay, you can carve them up with a serviceable quarterback. I ain't saying Ewers is serviceable. That guy's big time. He's a guy you're going to see on Sunday. I'm not going to hold you, but look the hell out. In the wide receiving core, from them, Colston, you had Colston Loveland, eight grabs, 70 yards. His average was 8 yards. I mean, if that's a bright spot, 6 other guys in double digits. He really tried to spread the ball around, but it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And the fact that Michigan basically got goose-egged in the first quarter and then just went field goal happy. Wow. It's almost like Texas got tired of punching them. By the fourth quarter, Texas was just like, okay, we've got the red shirt people out here now. The water boy, go in. I need you to go in for Ewers. That's not funny. That's not funny. But again, if you're Michigan, where do you go from here? Is there anything that people want to see Michigan actually? And I'm not a Michigan hater. First of all, I'm not a Michigan hater. I just look at things and shrug my shoulders because now they have AR State. I don't know who that is. They're coming to town next week. Who knows what that's going to look like? Then USC comes to town. Lincoln Riley and Miller Moss will beat you. I'm sorry. D'Anton Lynn and his defense, they're going to give Michigan fits. I really think Minnesota might even give Michigan a hell of a game. I'm not going to hold you and say Michigan is going to go ahead and lose to them. But if they do, this thing is really fell apart fast. Washington, I think they'll beat Washington. Even though I like Jed Fish, I've covered this. Go back, take a look at it. It is what it is. Illinois, the Fighting Illini, I'm not really sold on them. I'll have to sit down and analyze that, see where we go. In-state rivalry, that is now a 50-50 game. Michigan State versus Michigan. And then, like I say, I don't know who's going to win that game, but if you get beat up, you going into Oregon, that is going to be a disaster. Oregon is going to spread you out and kill whatever's left. And then I'll be honest with you, I think Cignetti and Indiana can beat you in Bloomington. Then you got Northwestern. I don't know if you can rest on your laurels because that's at the end of the season. I don't know what kind of shape you're going to be in, but then Ohio State, you have to go see your rival in the horseshoe. They will feast on your tears. This will be worse than the Texas beating. They will feast on your tears. So, Coach Moore and the bunch, where do you go with this? If you're a Michigan fan, hit me up in the comments if you're a Michigan fan, because what you saw, it was very hard to watch. It was hard to watch, and you kept waiting for Michigan to get in here and kind of come back, but there was no comeback from any of that whatsoever. It was just a dominant performance by Texas on all levels. This is Big Vern.